in most countries in the world. The icy realization that no matter what their achievements, the past had gone. Time had rolled forward. The spy was being sent back out into the cold. Or, put another way, the spy had gone beyond his usefulness to his master. In the case of Eilat I, he might simply have become too important. And there was only one solution for that. Eilat believed they were going to kill him. He further believed they were going to kill him that same night. He guessed there was already a surveillance team watching his little house set in a narrow alley up toward Al-Jamuri Street. He would be wary, and he would be calmly self-controlled. There could be only one possible outcome to any attempted assassination. Still walking swiftly, he reached the great wide-open expanse of Rusata Square. The streetlights were on now, but this square needed no extra illumination. A 50-foot-high portrait of the president was floodlit by more voltage than all the city streetlights put together. Eilat swung right, casting his eyes away from the searing dazzle of his leader, and he pressed on eastward toward the great adjoining Amin Square with its mosques and cheap hotels. He walked more slowly, tucking his white box under his arm and staying to the right, hard against the buildings. The traffic was heavy, but he had no need to leave the sidewalk, and unconsciously he slipped into the soft steps of the Bedouin, moving lightly, feeling in the small of his back the handle of the long, stiletto-bladed tribal knife, his constant companion in times of personal threat. He followed the late shoppers into Al-Jamuri Street and slowed almost to a stop as he reached an alleyway beside a small hotel. Then he quickened again and walked straight past, with only a passing glance into the narrow walkway with its one dim streetlight about halfway along. He saw that the alley was empty, with 2 cars parked at the far end. They were empty, too, unless the passengers were curled up on the floor. Eilat had excellent eyesight, and he was good at remembering pictures in his mind. He stopped completely, standing apparently distracted, outside the hotel, looking at his watch, checking the passers-by, watching for someone who hesitated, someone who might slow down and stop just as he had done. 20 seconds later he moved into the alley and walked slowly toward the narrow white door that opened through a high stone wall and led across the courtyard into the Baghdad headquarters of Eilat I. He heard with satisfaction the rusty grind and squeak of the hinges on the outside gate. He walked past an old bicycle and opened the door to his dark, cool house noiselessly. "I wonder if they'll come in friendship," he wondered to himself. "Or will they just come busting in with a Kalashnikov and blow the place apart?" He turned on the light in the wide downstairs hall and checked the setting on the low laser beam he had installed to inform him whether anyone had entered during his absence. There had been no one. And the white light on the wall panel, which flickered red if anyone opened a window, was steady. On reflection, he thought, they will probably try to take me out in the small hours of the morning. Stealth will be their method, and I suspect they will use knives, messy but silent. At least that's what I'd do were I a simple paid assassin. I can't see them risking gunfire, and I can't imagine them confronting me even in friendship, not with my current reputation. It was after 8 o'clock, and Eilat went to work with 2 screwdrivers, a large one for driving a bracket into the wall, a small one for electrical connections. "The key to murder in the dead of night," he muttered, "is vision. Night vision." When his tasks were completed, he placed a solid wooden chair behind the door, turned out every light, drew the shades across the windows, and there, in the pitch black, settled down to wait. With his eyes open wide, straining through the dark, he tried to make out shapes, but it took a full 20 minutes before he could distinguish the curved outline of the water pitcher on the table at the end of the hall. Midnight came and went, and still Eilat waited calmly. He hoped there would not be more than 3 of them, but if there were, well, so be it. At 1 a.m. he stood up and walked to the pitcher and poured himself a drink.